Do you need to replace a faucet in your home? If so, keep watching because in this video, I will walk you through the process that you can follow to replace any faucet in your house, and I'm gonna do it on this kitchen sink. Let's get to it. Before you do anything, make sure you cut the water off to the supply lines that are going to your faucet. If you have a powered faucet, you also want to disconnect it from its power source, whether it's an actual outlet or it's just a battery pack. Do this first before you do anything else. Once the water is off, you can disconnect your water supply lines from your faucet. Put a bucket underneath it or any sort of reservoir that can catch the excess water that is going to come out of these lines. Especially if you have an extra hose connection or one that pulls out of the faucet, there's a lot of water laying inside of that U line that you have underneath your sink. You want to catch that with a bucket, or at least have a towel or something there so you don't make a mess. With the water disconnected, now you can get up under the sink and loosen the bolts that you have that are holding the faucet in place. You'll likely have a couple of screws on the side that hold the plate up against the base of your sink or your countertop. Disconnect that, and then you'll want to remove either the bolt or that full bracket, however your sink is set up. This one actually has the full bracket that comes all the way down off of the stem on the bottom of the faucet. Remove that entire piece and thread all of your water lines through it so that you can get it off, and then gently pull the faucet out of the countertop or the top of the sink. Now here comes the part that I don't like. You're gonna have to read your manufacturer's instructions for your new faucet because you do need to make sure that you get this installed properly. Some will have a light that shows in front, especially if it's one of the newer touchless faucets. So when you activate it, you can see the light right out of the front. You wanna make sure that you have that positioned properly. And you also need to make sure that you get your water lines connected properly. Many of your newer faucets will have you install check valves on your water supply line. If your water supply line does not have those in place, you do want to make sure you get them there. Once your water supply line is prepped, you can take all of the water lines from the faucet and feed them down through the hole, or the holes if you have multiple holes, in the top of your sink or your countertop. Just make sure that you have the faucet positioned properly so the front is facing forward before you start to tighten anything down. With the water lines fed down inside the hole, you can take your mounting bracket. You just want to make sure you get this fit according to the manufacturer's instructions to ensure that it will hold the faucet in place appropriately. Sometimes it will have a little opening that you have to position in a specific direction in order to ensure it operates properly. Also, if you're installing a touchless faucet, the shank or the stem that comes out of the bottom of the faucet, you need to ensure that does not touch the edge of the sink or the countertop so that it operates properly. If you are touching, that can impact negatively the operation of the touch feature of your faucet. Now, if you have someone who can hold on to the faucet while you're tightening it under the sink, this makes a huge difference. I highly recommend doing that. Once you get it tightened, now you just need to reconnect all of your water lines. Just make sure that you get the cold and the hot connected to the right side. I unfortunately goofed that and had to reverse my lines after because I wasn't paying attention. When you run your sink for the first time, you may notice that you get a little bit of black gunk coming out. This is normal. Make sure you flush both your hot and your cold well before you try and drink any water out of your faucet or do any dishes. This will just ensure that your pipes are nice and clean. But maybe installing a sink is not your only concern. Maybe you have a clog in one of the sinks in your house, and for more information on how to unclog them, click or tap on this video. And until the next time, keep doing it yourself.